so watershed 213. There we go. Approval of agenda is item number 2. Can I have a motion to accept the agenda? First, second, thank you, Helen.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
sorry, didn't ask about changes.
sorry, we haven't
I don't think there's any
adopted.
changes.
We haven't moved it yet, or we
No.
haven't,
Any discussion on the agenda, any changes?
yeah, so just under bases upon which to close the meeting, in addition to what's there now, we'll add 91B as in Bob and E as in Eleanor, and 92B as in Bob.
Thank you. Any other changes?
Nope.
Slow going, gone. All in favor of the agenda? Yes, carried, done. Public participation? Wife's not here today, Fred? No. Delegations? Nope. Business arising from the minutes? There are no minutes, so no business. No unfinished business that I can think of unless somebody puts their hand up. Going, gone on that one. Reports. Mr. CAO?
No, other than what we've got coming with the bylaw.
Okay, good. The mayor is absent. I have nothing. Council? Helen, nothing? Fred?
You would ask a question.
I had something in the committee stuff.
Yeah, just a comment about, for those that weren't there. Infrastructure committee meeting last night was the longest we've had yet, closing at 10 o'clock or thereabouts. Some of them had the good sense to leave and go home. But we went through the whole issue about the IMP and try to figure, are we getting value and are we not getting value? And I'd gone in thinking that if we compared the IMP with the RFP, we would have an answer, but I can't remember if it was Nye or yourself mentioned, the key point is how close the IMP matches the proposal that we, our RFP produced or was met with ACOM. And so we're heading down that path, and I think that is probably the most sensible thing we did about the whole thing. So regardless of, in other words, just for those who weren't there, the RFP is a request for our proposal. They put in their proposal. Once we accepted the proposal, that is our contract, not the RFP anymore.
Well, subject to the wording of the contract, which in this case is a little bit ambiguous as to the ongoing applicability of the RFP. So it references both. So one could argue that the requisite elements of the RFP are still in play, but we concentrated on what was their proposal. What did they promise to do, and did they live up to those promises? And approached it from that angle, emphasized that angle, and made I think some good progress, and documented a lot of good relevant points for follow up. So
Good.
we'll,
And so for next Tuesday, we'll see a report. Your guys are pretty quick too.
We can have our report. I don't know how well the minutes will be finalized by then, because our minute taker does tend to be rather busy.
Okay, well, we can, I mean, we're not going to be asked to receive the report, or that's, you guys are still deciding?
I'm hoping that Greg, or that Brian will have something, a draft, circulated sooner than later, and that we can all weigh in on and tweak, so that we can discuss what all have agreed is the recommendation of the committee when we have our council meeting next week.
Right.
That would be my hope.
Yeah.
So that we can talk about next steps.
Next step's good, okay.
I'll have to check with Brian on that.
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
Okay, and I think even if it doesn't hit Shauna's deadline, I mean, we can certainly read over the weekend or Monday. That's fine, I can appear on to you.
Okay, the key piece for me, though, is the educational piece for us as counselors that I was totally unaware of, is the concept of the proposal really usually being the key thing. when we're signing off on a proposal, we are accepting that as the proposal, and notwithstanding the vagaries of the contract, I think we have to take it more seriously when we accept somebody's proposal.
I think it wasn't not only just council, but it was surprising that the IC committee had not seen the proposal. So
Yeah, I'm not sure how
But
that happened.
ultimately, I thought you had, because you found it on your computer and Brian found it on his.
Yeah,
So I think probably you guys had seen it, I'm guessing. In any event, yeah.
Helen,
It
you're
was,
gold.
yeah,
I didn't
it's a
see
bit of
it.
a oops.
anyways,
Okay.
procedures around RFPs, how they're vetted,
Mhm.
how proposals are treated when they come in, compliance matrices, as Brian alluded to, are important. If a proposal that comes in doesn't line up with the RFP that went out, then there probably needs to be a discussion as to what are the gaps, and are they important enough to go back to the proponent and say, we need to talk about this or negotiate this further before signing a contract, or is it of a minor nature where you just simply accept the proposal? So that's something that we need to be aware of going forward, and to have clear procedures in place for dealing with that.
Perfect. I did see Councillor Hughes this morning for a few minutes. He's recovering well. He anticipates being here next Tuesday, which he was very aggressive in his tone, and that his health would be good enough to do that, which I said, if I suspect the IMP comes forward, he should be here. I think it's fair to say we know Mayor Burr's views, which will also be part of the documentation, I'm sure, if he hasn't emailed the others. So, be that made, so the full council can go through this at a time. Good. Anything else, Fred?
Nope, that's it.
Good. I have nothing to add on the council piece, and I have nothing on committee, nothing else on committees, nope. I'm going on that. Emergency services. Actually, staff probably knows this, I didn't until today, that the north construction is finished above the Ocean View Gate. I only know that because I was wondering when the rumbling of the trucks would continue, and apparently it's all done. Good. There we go, so finished on reports, resolutions, there being none, we move to bylaws, and the recommendation is here for 10A, and Pamela, anything to add?
No, just there's been no changes since the changes that were made before the third reading, and this is just for adoption.
Perfect, and this is the final?
Yes, this is to adopt.
Yep. All right, so the recommendation is that the 2016-2020 5-year financial plan bylaw number 503, 2016 be adopted. Can I have a motion? Thank you. Second? Thank you. Any discussion? Nope. Going on the discussion. Put forward the motion for adoption. All in favor? It's unanimous, thank you. Item 10B, sewer parcel tax bylaw number 108, 1982, amendment bylaw number 504, 2016. This is for adoption. Pamela, anything to add?
Nope.
Nothing to add. The recommendation is that the sewer parcel tax bylaw number 108, 1982, amendment bylaw number 504, 2016 to be adopted. Can I have someone put this forward? Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Helen, for seconding. Any discussion? There being none, I put forward this recommendation. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Bylaw 10C, tax rates bylaw number 505, 2016, for adoption. Recommendation that the tax rates bylaw number 505, 2016 be adopted. Pamela, any comment, any changes?
No changes, no comment.
Good, thank you. Can somebody put it forward? Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Helen, for seconding. The recommendation stands. Any discussion? Helen? None?
Nope.
Fred, none. I have none. All in favor of the recommendation? Unanimous, thank you. Correspondence, there being none. New business, the ICBC handling and privacy policy. I hand this back to staff.
Yes, I just wrote a brief report on the ICBC information handling and privacy policy. I just had wanted to present it to council, because with our policies, depending on their nature, we tend to get them approved by council. The purpose of this policy is we have what's called an information sharing agreement with ICBC, and it's for our bylaw enforcement. So when we write a ticket, we put down the person's license plate number. If it's not paid within our time limit, then we send a collection letter, but of course we only have the license plate number, we need the address. So we have this agreement with ICBC whereby we send them a list of the license plates, and then they fax us the related information, namely the name and address and vehicle information, which allows us to send the collection letter. But of course, with the privacy requirements now, as part of this information sharing agreement, we have to show that we have a policy that addresses how we handle this information, just to protect the privacy. And that's what this policy is for. And I've actually sent it to ICBC for their review, and it encompasses everything that they need. So this was really two purposes: bringing to council's attention this policy and asking for their approval of the policy. At which time I will send it to ICBC, and it specifically addresses how we handle the ICBC information, which is essentially the name and address related to the applicable license plate number.
Thank you.
Sorry, any
We'll open to
questions?
discussion on this one, Pam. Did you, so we pioneered this, basically?
Yes, I actually was able to get a sample of some other communities to see what satisfies ICBC, and I used it sort of as a template and then amended it to our procedures.
And the quick skinny is, we fill out our stuff, which we have in the past, we send it to them, they do the stuff, but basically anything we get back, it's shielded from the public.
That's right, and they just wanted to really know our procedures, and essentially we input the information from the fax into the letters, then we actually shred the fax. We don't keep a hard copy of it, and everything is kept online, and then we have the security around our computer system.
But you do keep a record of the sent collection letter too, though.
We do, but again, that's online. We don't keep hard copies of the letters just to minimize the risk.
Helen, do you think, I don't think this is, I think policy is open, so I mean, I guess this is part of the parking committee, kind of very peripheral stuff, but.
Not,
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's fairly
Peter, any
straightforward.
commentary?
No, it's as Pam has alluded to, required in order for us to receive the information which we need in order to pursue these delinquent tickets. So that's what we got to do.
There we go, okay, circling back, then the recommendation is ICBC information handling and privacy policy. The recommendation is that council approve the ICBC information handling and private policy, which is in the thing. Can I have a motion, a seconder? Thank you, Helen. Any more discussion? Take this to a vote. All in favor? Passed unanimously, thank you. Public questions? There being none. The closed council, then we'll go to closed. The meeting be closed to public under the authority of the community charter. So if we got all the sections here, Peter, 91A and C, 91B and E, 92B.
Right.
Concurred. Then those who shouldn't be here shouldn't be here. We will stop. I put forward the motion that we close the meeting to the public. Can I have a seconder? All in favor? Thank you. We're closed. Motion to reopen the meeting. Thank you. Time now is?
3:48.
Thank you. 3:48. So the meeting is now open. We'll go back to the open session. And the reporting out of the closed session are the following two items, which is the council's approval of the contract for the public works manager. And the second is for staff to provide an inventory of village-owned land for the first week of June council meeting.
And the Public Works Manager's appointments
And the,
as bylaw officer and
sorry,
obviously Public Works Manager.
thank you, 3 items. Shauna, do you have those?
Yeah.
Thank you. Which brings us to adjournment. Motion, thank you, Helen. Second, Fred, unanimous. We're adjourned.